Hi, my name is John Stile and I am an English literature lecturer at the URV. I'm going to talk to you about some of the larger implications of COIL and the important things that it can bring to your students' education. And my comments are based on having done COIL exercises over a couple of years with third and fourth year students, and also the particular vantage point of having been a Vice Rector for Internationalization for a number of years. Okay, the first and most important point, I think, that you should consider when introducing COIL into your study program is that it is the one way we can reach all our students with an internationalization element, which is very important for their education. Lots of our students cannot participate in study abroad programs for many good reasons, but they can come to class and experience through COIL a genuine international interaction with students from other countries. The second point, I think, is that COIL programs should be introduced into studies at all levels of university, and not just once in a student's education here, but in every year, many, many times. For the students, interacting with students from another country in another language can seem to be a very daunting task at the beginning. And that's why you as teachers have to think through the program very well in cooperation with your colleague at the other end. And by doing this, our students will grow in confidence. They will see that they can interact confidently and competently in another language. And when they do their final presentation together, it will give them a real sense of satisfaction of having produced something together of an international dimension. Undergraduate degrees are a preparation for the working place in the future. And COIL activities are an excellent way for our students to prepare themselves for that future in work, where international cooperation will invariably form some part of their working life at some moment. The third point I'd like to make is that for many people, especially more traditional teachers, we understand that the university education is about acquiring specific knowledge and skills in a particular disciplinary area. But one of the things that COIL can offer you, apart from the language practice, is the ability to work across disciplines in a very challenging way. Now, most of us academics limit our friendships and our international interactions with people from the same discipline as we belong to. But really, many of the most interesting COIL experiences that you can read about are ones where teachers have worked across disciplines. So, for example, finding an interesting task that can unite medical students from one country with humanities students from another. Or, and an extreme famous example, is chemistry students talking to performing arts students. The fourth point I want to make is that COIL is a student-centered methodology. And it's not just enough to have the experience. It's really important for you as the teacher to make sure that the experience is a valuable educational one, is that after the program is over, or even during, that there's time to discuss the meaning of the experience. So there's a time to address any interpersonal difficulties that arose, which might be language problems or cultural problems. It's not enough to give your students a questionnaire at the end and send them home. No, there has to be proper discussion and reflection on the difficulties that arose, and then proposals on how to overcome those difficulties. That will be essential as a way of preparing the students for their working future. So to sum up, I think COIL gives our students a really exceptional opportunity to experience an international dimension to their education, which is so important in today's world. It's so important that it's a program that reaches all our students, not just those who participate in study abroad programs. And it gives them a chance not only to develop their skills and knowledge by sharing with other nationalities, but it gets them to think about the way they do things and the way they are. COIL is an essential tool for introducing the 21st century skills that future employees are so interested in our students manifesting. It introduces a new dimension to their studies, which helps them not only deepen their knowledge of their particular area, but also to think about different ways of thinking, different ways of being. And this connects to the really important question about university education. How do we want our students to be? COIL will help them directly become more critical thinkers, more open to diversity, more interested in different varieties of ways of thinking. It'll basically impact them very importantly in their personal, in their social, and in their professional futures. And finally, introducing more COIL activities into our study programs will make our university a more international place. And that surely should be the aspiration of any educational institution in the 21st century. So I hope you've enjoyed these few points that I've shared with you. I see COIL as belonging to a much, much larger, more important aim that every educational institution should have in trying to produce future citizens who will make a really important contribution to the societies that they live in.